Hey, this is an album review for Evil Scarecrow's new album, Chapter 4, Antartarctica. Try saying that when you've had a few drinks. Now, before I get into the album review, something special first to play you. About 13 to 15 minutes long of an audio clip. I had the pleasure of talking with Brrraaains, the guitarist of Evil Scarecrow. You should recognise him seeing him on stage. He's the one dressed as a monk. Always entertaining to watch, an incredible guitarist as well. So I had a little chat with him. Now, excuse the poor quality, it is a phone conversation after all, and Brrraaains was walking at the time. But yeah, sit back and enjoy this really, really interesting talk about Evil Scarecrow's history, where they're going, the new album, and just some random bits. Right, so let's get started then. Brrraaains, of course, from Evil Scarecrow. You want to do a brief introduction about your role in the band?
I am the electric guitarist. I've been playing the electric guitar since I was first popped out of my mother's womb. What else do I do? High fives, general tomfoolery. Been in the band as long as anyone else. So even though I don't put much effort in, I still feel like I've got some sort of inalienable rights over being an Evil Scarecrow. Longevity. It's like being someone in the House of the Lord. I've done my time. I'm going to sit back and relax now.
Brilliant. Well, you say sit back and relax, but now isn't the time to relax, right? Your fourth album's about to come out.
Yeah, well, what we've got coming up. We've got the album release and a tour coming up. Just released a music video last week or the week before. A music video released on Monday. Basically, not the top, but I don't really have to do as much as, say, the lead singer, Dr. Hell. But it's still quite a lot. The tour's quite daunting. Hopefully it'll do well.
Yep.
Hopefully the album will do well. Hopefully people will like it.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's been 5 years since Galactic Hunt, right?
I think it's 5 years. Oh my word.
Yeah.
I didn't have a child 5 years ago. I have a 3-year-old. Yeah, that's what happens. Got lots of stuff to do. 5 years. We'd like to be more prolific. But it's hard, really, when we're all doing jobs and things and making any money. But, 5 years. Another 5 years, and I'm in my 40s. Just keep people holding on.
Well, see, you say that about, obviously, the 11th time, and you've just got to get things sorted in your own personal lives and jobs and stuff like that. Obviously, you're basically, arguably, the biggest name in metal with the sort of DIY ethos. It's kind of what sometimes defines you almost as a band nowadays. Is that still a choice? Are you guys still choosing to stay unsigned?
In a way, I think. I mean, the thing is, the offers have been given. I haven't been anything worth having with you. Everything's been offered to us. We can do ourselves anyway, to a degree. Probably not to the same extent that Sony could do if they wanted to sign us. Listening, Sony, give me a call. But it's just that we've understood, because it's been doing it for so long, we've understood that a lot of record labels will just want to get you under their wing, and then everything they spend on you to promote you, you're going to make back to them.
Yeah.
Before you start seeing any profit yourself. So we know that we might as well spend that money ourselves because they're not owing it to anybody else. That's sort of the way. I mean, if someone offers us a massive deal and everything, we'd probably take it, but it's just no one's really offered us anything that we can't do ourselves. So that's probably the real reason why we're unsigned, and also maybe people think we're rubbish and can't sell anything that we could produce. Maybe that's it. Who knows? Maybe we're just too niche.
Yeah.
If we wrote songs like David Guetta or who else is popular? Lil Pump. I've listened to him recently. He's shit. But if we started releasing songs called Gucci Gang, we could make our own version of Gucci Gang, like Little Gang or Gang or something.
So obviously,
making money.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, then because of that, you obviously rely quite a lot on fans, and like your fans obviously supporting you, be it obviously buying the music and coming to the shows and stuff like that. Is that why with Chapter 4 Antartarctica, Pledge Music, you're using Pledge Music, right, to sell different variations of that? Yeah.
Well, I just saw on Pledge Music today, so Robert Williams got a pledge on there, and Anastasia, and a few other people who I thought probably would do it. It seems everyone's sort of doing it now. It's just a good way of getting your costs up front before you invest loads of money in printing a load of vinyl and CDs and stuff. And then thinking, oh bollocks, I've got hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of merch and things that no one wants to buy.
Yeah.
This way, he can get some money up front, and then it's a little less risky. Obviously, they just take a bit of money from us, but that's fine, really.
Yeah.
It's an easy way of doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had someone played from San Francisco the other day. I thought, how the hell have they heard of us? Some San Francisco hippie with some Evil Scarecrow on the internet ordered some stuff for us. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Also, the other thing is it gets to people further on the globe. It's really difficult to understand where people hear us. I mean, I suppose to play on an internet radio station, I just don't know. But when people start ordering from Australia or anywhere in the world, you think, how have they heard of us as tiny little bands in Nottingham? It's good. But, yeah, the fans definitely spread our name around. And doing festivals, that's another good thing. When you go and play a festival, even though how many thousand people, they will tell everybody, and you'll reach a lot of people very quickly. It's a good way of top tip there for the aspiring band. Play festivals. Play massive slots and festivals. It's easy to do. Just get a slot and play there. You get loads of people after you.
I think it's interesting what you said about word to mouth, because that's how I first heard about you.
Really?
Yeah, I started hearing about Evil Scarecrow. Obviously a lot of the time it's like, oh, they're funny, they're a fun live band and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, cool, check them out. I think it was Crowification was the first song I'd heard, and then we caught you at Bloodstock 2014, I think it was. I think you used it in your video for Crabulon. Yeah, and. Yeah, that was basically wow for a lot of people. Obviously, you drew in one of the biggest crowds of the weekend, and that word of mouth for yourselves. I've never seen quite such a buzz where people are talking about one specific band.
Yeah, it's great. It's really, I mean, we didn't expect that at all. We didn't know. We just don't know. We can't. We've got enough confidence in ourselves now to know that when we go on stage with a lot of people, we're ready to step up to the challenge and get people involved and people who enjoy it. But whether or not anyone's going to turn up, we think, well, we played in Summer Breeze Festival in Bavaria last month, and we've played in Germany a couple of times before, but, you just think, who's going to come and see us? We were on at 1:15 in the morning, the tent was full, and everyone got into it, everyone really enjoyed it, and we think, these people who saw us in Bracken the year before, or just people just looked on the Summer Breeze app and seen us and thought these look funny, who knows? We don't know, but I think when everyone sees us, they go away and they get, oh, that was quite good. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Yeah, I
think that anyway.
I do think a lot of it is like, it seems to me like curiosity at first, where like I said, oh, you've heard a cool stage show, and maybe they've heard the odd snippet of a song here and there, like Robotron or something like that, and then they come along and go, oh wow, musically, these guys are bloody great. You're not a joke band, basically.
Oh, good, thanks. Well, it's nice to hear that, because we started this without really. We only did it to the band in the first place, just to entertain ourselves. We like heavy metal, we like silly things, and we thought we'll incorporate those two things together to entertain ourselves mostly. If we get gigs out of it, that'll be a bonus. But it seems people have enjoyed our stupid sense of humour and the daft way we do things, and just joined in wholeheartedly. So that's good.
You almost feel like, particularly I think if you're like a Bloodstock festival regularly, you almost feel like you belong to certain fan bases. Like people desperately grip hold and like, don't you dare say anything bad about our Evil Scarecrow.
yeah, that is good. Yeah, you just have the fans behind you that way. You can stick up to that. Because online, people, I mean, they don't read. I used to, when I first started the band, I used to always read every review of every gig we ever did and see what they said and see how critical they were. Now I don't really read any reviews about anything anymore. Well, about us anyway.
Yeah.
The reviews about bands, about video games stuff I might want to buy. But yeah, reviews about us, I don't really bother with, because I know if it's bad, then, well, I don't know. Sometimes people don't like us because we just don't get the joke or think we aren't serious enough, and that's fine. They don't like us because we don't think we're serious enough, and that is quite true because we aren't serious. But most people stick up for us. If people go, oh, Evil Scarecrow, a bunch of knobs, someone other fan will stick up for us. So I'll leave it to them, because they're loyal to us, and we're loyal to them. Go fans. There.
So, obviously leading up to Chapter 4, right? So, we had Hurricanado, about 2 years ago now, and obviously they've just done a Poltergeist, a video for that. Right.
Yep.
Those videos, who comes up with those ideas, and are they as fun to make as they are to watch?
I think Dr. Hell comes up with the idea is most of the time. Fun to make us have to watch. I don't know. It's difficult to say. It's sort of... there's a lot of negative points to recording videos. There's just a lot of time being bored, stood around doing nothing. Pain, agony, or physical pain, things like that. But there's fun to do with the band. That's a bit of a laugh. So I would say it's slightly in favour. It's more fun to watch it than actually participate in the video. Because now we're all so busy doing all this stuff going on. You have to. The last 2 videos, we recorded all the footage with us band members in it one day in 2 different locations. Just we had to get it all done from one day. The other day we all stayed up together and whacked it out as fast as possible. It's like a long old day of loading bands, getting changed, putting makeup on, getting makeup off again. It's like, it really is like work. I mean, it sounds, you just look at a band and think, oh, look at them. Having fun all the time. All they're doing is snorting coke, shagging hookers, having a brilliant time. But in fact, I'm only doing that 50% of the time. The other 50% of the time, it's mostly work.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'd say. So no, not fun to film videos. Just get someone else to do it. If you're in the band, just get someone, some animators to animate something. Just sit home, shagging hookers and snorting coke. That's more fun.
Talking about then, I guess the fun side of things, I suppose, and if it is fun for you, you mentioned a tour out in the UK throughout October and January of 2019. You've been doing this a while. I think I read 2002 was Evil Scarecrow's inception.
What? Yeah.
Yeah. So so you're back out on tour. It's been a while, playing some pretty big locations in the UK, particularly because we're London, so we've only ever seen you in London. But this time around, you're doing the Electric Ballroom.
Yeah.
Which
I
is
think we played on the last tour as well. I can't remember. Yeah, we played Electric Ballroom twice before. I think. Yeah, it's always good playing there. It's surprising. We used to play gigs around London, like L3 and by Wickham and places like that.
Yeah.
But now we just play London and ignore all the small numbers because everyone will come and travel to see us there. And yeah, it's great. We just thought, hey, London is like a culture capital of the country. Well, one of them.
Yeah.
So why would they be interested in us? But they seem to have a good time down there. Festival is a good venue, the treat as well. Dressing room's good, riders good. So I'd give it 10 out of 10.
Excellent. I think one of the more memorable shows I ever saw you guys at was you supported Wednesday 13 in.
Oh yes, the garage.
Yeah, that's right, the garage. Yeah, I run into awkwardly half drunk, run into Dr. Hell in the toilet of all places. Where
he's always hanging out there.
Yeah, it's one of those really awkward moments where it's like, oh hello, you're Dr. Hell and Evil Scarecrow. You guys rock. Thank you. Yeah, we're in the toilet. Can't really say much more. Carry on.
You're not talking too long. It's weird. Yeah.
So, show-wise, I think I read you guys have said you're going to be bringing out quite a couple of new different ideas for the stage show on this tour. Is that right?
I would like to tell you about it, but two reasons. I don't want to spoil it, and the other reason is I don't really know what it's going to be. It's like it's a surprise to me. Our tech guys, Dean and Russ, and sometimes Dave, they build all this stuff for us and bring it out. And the first time I see it often is at a gig. You're not allowed made this new bloody warrior outfit and the robotic nail or whatever.
Yeah.
And I've not seen any of this. And every now and again, Dean will send me a picture. Go, look at this, mate. Look at this. It's good, isn't it? It will be good because he's very good at making this kind of stuff. So I don't really know. Yeah, there will be a new stage show because we can't just bring out the same old knackered old Blue Peter Dross year. But I don't know what it's going to be like, mate. It's going to be good. I can guarantee you that because now Dean and Russ are trained on pyro as well. So that's another string to the bow. So fire, probably a volcano might be on stage. It could be anything, mate. Anything your mind can comprehend, we can bring on stage.
I think you've given two good reasons. You've given two good reasons, as I said, not knowing, and it's a nice surprise because that's one of the always benefits of seeing you guys live is being surprised.
Yeah.
Right.
I've seen some bands play before and they've done the tour and they come back and play the same set and they do the same thing.
Yep.
And you go, oh, come on, you can't do the same. We have done that as well in the past, but it's nice to have something fresh and different every time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, nothing worse than a rehearsed thing that you're seeing over and over and over again. Unless you're already 50 years into the career, Judas Priest style, then you can get away with it.
Yeah.
So you are bringing 10-Foot Wizard out with you, and I think I read that you're a big fan of 10-Foot Wizard, right?
Oh, I am. Yeah. I first saw 10-Foot Wizard playing at a venue in Nottingham. It was what's it called? I don't remember. An underground sort of gig thing, and it was my mate's band, Widows, and they were brilliant. I mean, Gary, the singer, he blew me away with his stage presence. In fact, all the bands were great, and as a result, I then subsequently put them on myself at a venue near I live. You'll stay at my house, and I've got to know the guys really well. I think it's brilliant. So I'm so glad 10-Foot Wizard are big supporters, and I'm glad I can genuinely say that rather than go, oh yes, I'm really a big fan of Cheese Cats who are supporting us. I like to talk about bands that I actually really do enjoy and can't wait to see. So if anyone's going to come and see us, if anyone's listening to this now and can come and see us, be sure to and see 10-Foot Wizard as well, because they are brilliant. Really, really good. I'm not just saying that. They are really, really good.
That's when you can actually get behind.
A lot. Yeah, they are. They're great. Covered in Tits, that's one of their songs. You got a bit better than that, can you? A song about being covered in tits.
So, right, we're going to wrap this up with one question. I already know the answer because you're not going to be able to tell me anyway. But it's been a couple of years since you've been at Bloodstock. How's 2019 looking?
It's been a couple of years, isn't it? I can't confirm or deny any particular thing that may or may not be happening at Bloodstock next year. And that's sort of a genuine truth, I think, but I'm not exactly sure. Because I don't really know. I'm basically a guitarist. Start asking some train driver what they think of what's going to happen with the privatisation of the rail service next year.
Yeah.
He don't know. He's just some cog in a big machine, which I am as well. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I just turn up and play. So don't listen to anything I say. It's all just made up on the spot. So we might play the next year. We might not. I don't know. There, that's the answer.
I guess if you want Evil Scarecrow to play Bloodstock 2019, just keep hammering away at those on online towards the organisers, right?
Well, I would say just buy loads of our merchandise and give us money in envelopes, unmarked bills. That'd be amazing. That's probably going to help us the most. Money.
That's a great idea. Yep, give money.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
I love that. I loved talking to him. It's one of those where at the end of it, I got off the phone with a big smile on my face, punched in the air and gone, that was great. He was a great guy to talk to. Absolute pleasure. And talking about pleasures, Evil Scarecrow's new album is every bit as pleasurable. They've proven themselves now, I think, at this stage, that they're way more than just a comedy band. You know, when you think of Evil Scarecrow, you tend to sort of think, if you've seen them live, you tend to think of their live experiences. You tend to think of events they've been part of. I always think of Bloodstock the first time I saw them, when they did Crabulon and Robototron and basically was part of that huge Crabulon. If you go to the Crabulon video of Evil Scarecrow, you'll see the size of the people moving in time to that. Incredible fun. But they I wouldn't say they've been tarred by that brush, but I think in a lot of people's eyes they're like, oh, they're a joke band, you know, their songs are good, but that's about it. They're making a play for much more, which is fantastic because they've been around a damn long time and been doing it a lot, mostly unsigned, which is again an incredible thing. It's been 5 years since their last release, which was called Galactic Hunt. Say that one slowly. But everyone's favourite party rock band, they're back. It's out on September 28th, 2018. Via Deadbox Records. So how do you describe Evil Scarecrow to someone who's never seen them or heard them before? Fun? Silly? With catchy and heavy-ass music? I think that's as simple as you keep it. They've been mashing up genres, including traditional heavy metal, black metal, out-and-out rock, and the end result has always been a bright listen. And Chapter 4 Antartarctica is no different. In fact, this is the best album the UK metalers have done to date. It's the years of experience, both in the studio and on the road, seems to have refined Evil Scarecrow, resulting in a more defined set of tracks. It's still very much Evil Scarecrow, don't be worried about that. But the sound of a band having grown, and it starts with a roaring call to arms with skulls of our enemies, and it's one for fans to immediately get behind, with a fist in the air shouting along, live it's going to kill it, the fight to live to fight. Easily something for the crowd to be shouting back. Red Riding Hood, Way to Die, and The Magician and show that it wasn't a fluke start with a triple header of thrilling, catchy and crushing tunes. The latter, and particularly its gothic tone, thumping rhythm and hyper guitar solo make it one of the album's best songs. And one of the things Evil Scarecrow don't really get enough credit for is their storytelling ability. Because it's always kind of jokey, tongue-in-cheek silliness, you kind of just dismiss it. But their tracks tell tales, often within the lyrical content. And the track, Gus, Zag and the Turnip King, is a great example of that. I know you've heard the name and gone, are you serious? Storytelling? No, really, really, really entertaining, really clever stuff. We then get Hurricanado, which is a song that everyone should have heard by now, particularly if you're an Evil Scarecrow fan, because it's been out for over 2 years. Fans have had plenty of time to get used to it. And time has only strengthened it. It's a wild and more traditional Evil Scarecrow song, I think. It's got a great tongue-in-cheek sort of attitude about it, but it's a great metal track when it comes down to it, as is the second single that was released, Polterghost. Except that one has a chorus you'll be humming for days afterwards. Just when you think you've seen everything Evil Scarecrow have to offer, oh my god, they throw a curveball out there with a sweet as sugar ballad about guitarist Brother Payne. Now, I'm not going to sing this, but these are some of the lyrics. Brother Payne, why did you go to Antartarctica? The coldest place on earth is no place for a monk. Now, that's sung really softly by Dr. Hell, and it's grin-inducing. I'm smiling so much now because even though I'm singing it in my head, I'm thinking, that's a fun song. That's a really fun song. Unbelievably brilliant. It's a surefire live here. That is going to absolutely slay. I want to see that song live. And because you can hear the sing-along now, and the guitar solo that comes at the end is a good old-fashioned lighters out, up in the air moment if there ever was one. And after that, it leads to the final track. It's the title track as well, and it comes in at over 10 minutes, which to me was confirmation of how far this band has come since their last album. Everything good about Evil Scarecrow is in this track, from the crushing heavy black metal to the gothic melodies and haunting vocals to the wackier, speedier rhythm stuff they do. The stuff many associate with the band. It's ambitious as hell, but it's thrilling to listen to, which kind of is just the whole album. It's a thrill ride, and one that I generally enjoyed all the way through. I think most people will too. It's a huge moment for Evil Scarecrow. Chapter 4 Antartarctica is arguably the best stuff they've done, but it also shows some serious development for the band while staying true to their roots. Both new and old fans will really enjoy this release. Fantastic work. It's out on September 28th.